So in this segment, what we're going to do is take the set of postpositions, or actually the equivalent of to, whether it is in subject position or as a recipient or as a specificity marker. So what I'm talking about is pronouns plus ko. Okay? And as I mentioned, whether I'm talking about subject plus ko or I'm talking about the direct object specificity marker ko, or I'm talking about the indirect object recipient ko. In English, the subject one corresponds to I like or I want some water. The direct object specificity is John saw me, and the indirect object recipient corresponds in English to John gave the book to me. Okay. Similar to English, whether John saw me or John gave the book to me, similarly in Hindi-Urdu also, when you have your pronouns and you attach a ko, the form that you get is the same regardless of the meaning. Okay? So, मैं plus ko gives you mujhe, or you can get mujhko. Mujhe or mujhko. What is the difference between mujhe and mujhko? There is no difference. Doesn't depend on the weather, doesn't depend on your mood, nothing. Okay. Why do we need to know both? Because we don't know what you'll hear or read or come across in your reading. So you should know both forms. So मैं plus ko gives you mujhe or mujhko. And again, the three examples would be mujhe pani chahiye, where it's a subject. John ne mujhe dekha, where John saw me. And recipient, John ne mujhe ek kitab di, right? Where I'm the recipient. Okay. If we take hum, then we get hame, or you can get hum ko. Okay. If you have tu, you get tujhe, and you can also get tuj ko. If you have tum plus ko, you'll get tumhe and tumko. With aap, you'll get aap ko, and you have only one form. Okay. With yah and va, you will get ise and use, and you will get isko and usko. And if you have the plural, ye and ve, you'll get inhe and unhe, and you'll get inko and unko. Let me give you some examples. हमें पानी चाहिए और हमको पानी चाहिए. Okay. तुझे क्या चाहिए? What do you want? Okay. तुम्हें क्या चाहिए? आपको क्या चाहिए? What do you want? The different forms. Okay. इसे पानी पसंद है. He likes water or she likes water. Okay. इन्हें कॉफ़ी पसंद है. You know, they like coffee or one person that you're being polite to. Okay. इन्हें coffee पसंद है, उन्हें someone not here. So this is proximate, this is distant. Okay. And the same thing, there's no difference in meaning, but you can keep the forms inko and unko. Okay, so here are the forms generated for pronouns followed by ko, and it doesn't matter what the position of this pronoun plus ko is. It could be a subject, it could be a direct object. You know, pronouns are always highly specific in nature, high on the animacy scale. Therefore, you will always get them followed by a ko in the direct object position. What I mean is you cannot say John मैं देखता है. You have to say John मुझे देखता है. Right? So you have to use the ko forms. And the third meaning is where it is an indirect object, where the ko stands for recipient, right? For example, John तुम्हें किताब देता है. You know, Mary हमें किताब देती है. Okay, where we are recipients. Anyway, so one last thing is adding it to a question word. So if you want to say whom, so kaun plus ko will become kisko. And finally, plural form will be kin ko, who all, okay, or whom all did Mary give the book to, or who all like coffee. Okay, so these are summing up for the forms generated when the pronouns are followed by a ko. Okay. Finally, in the next segment, we will look at the last set of postpositions. And these are multiple postpositions. For example, things like se, par, right? What happens when pronouns are followed by se or par?